Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. I am so happy to have you joining me today. I am a professional intuitive empath for those of you that are new here, and I am going to jump right into the video. Today's video is about Crumbs. I want to talk to you about Crumbs. Now, I've been holding on to some things for this last year that I will be donating post haste, but this is one of the things. I have not used it. It's been sitting there waiting for me to be able to make this video without cussing up a blue streak. Now I've got the lesson. Now a lot of my anger is dissipated. Now I've moved on and I kind of understand exactly why all of this had to happen. But this thing right here, was Crumbs. Let me tell you about that. When I talk about Crumbs or bread crumbing, this is something that happens where someone who has the capacity to give you more gives you very little. And excuse me, this is not about the actual thing. So I'm not being like an ugly person complaining about a gift. But I want you to understand why this happened. This is a cycle of abuse, and gifts happen in the cycle of abuse. This just happened to be my gift, okay? This gift was given to me after about 24 hours or a day of silent treatment and devaluing done by a covert narc when I was visiting them at the beginning of this year. I was up there to get a medical procedure, and I had confronted that covert narc with some truths about her behavior that was really atrocious and mean, slightly racist, not slightly, actually racist, classist, just weird things she said to me when she was inebriated, and also ways she was treating me when she was sober. And I called her out on her narcissistic amnesia, and you know a narc does not like to be called out. So she ignored me, and again, I'm up there to get something done. When she did come in, she handed me prep. I was dealing with some gastro stuff, and that's the field that she worked in. And when I say handed me, I'm being quite gracious. She threw at me the box of prep, didn't say a word to me, and I said, what am I supposed to do, being that she was the practitioner? I wonder if Dr. Loudon would have loved her bedside manner. And she said to me, as she turned on her heel and slammed the door, I guess you have a lot of reading to do. So tonight, that's why it's Reading Rainbow. She was so smug and such a dick. Let's just call a thing a thing. And I was appalled. I wouldn't treat a dog in many of the ways that she treated me that week. So after what happened was I went into survival mode. My father was a malignant narcissist, and I understood how to get right into my codependent kind of like lane, and how to kind of like kiss up and fix and make it better, because I was in her house and I went up there and I got a ride. I didn't even have a car, which is very strange for me. This was such a powerful moment where my angels wanted me to be humiliated and humbled. I don't say my angels wanted that, but they allowed all of that to happen so that I would be in such a nightmare that I would never go back. And it was all of my worst fears come to life, the way she treated me. And she had love bomb me with like, come up here, I just want to take care of you, I just want to be there for you, and all this stuff. And really what she was doing, excuse me guys, was getting narcissistic supply. She wanted people to think that she was a good person, and that's why I say I wonder if Dr. Loudon, the person who did my procedure, would have thought her bedside manner was exemplary, because she spent so much time talking it up at the office to get sympathy when she didn't give a single fiznuck about me when I was actually there. Back to the Crumbs, y'all. So after not talking to me, and after me having to fix it, anybody who's ever been in an abusive relationship or had an abusive parent, you know that energy of getting very small and trying to get into their space and figure out what's wrong and kind of kiss up. And I said, I'll never do this again in my life, let alone with her. But it was interesting how you regress back into your survival mode when you've had an abusive person in your life. And it was how I identified how abusive she was. After we fixed it, meaning I fixed it, went to her, talked to her, and let her talk to me in short staccato sentences, because she didn't want to give anything, because narcissists never have much to give, do they? So the next morning, I guess she felt better. She texted me and she said, I guess I'll be nice to you today. I guess I'll be nice to you today. She said, I left you a little gift out on the counter. And when I went outside, wrapped in plastic, was this desk. the Crumbs. Now, I was up there, and guys, I'm a professional intuitive empath. That means I do readings. I always have a litany of cards, crystals, and candles with me everywhere I go, including on that trip, because I work remotely wherever I go, such as the magic and luxury of my life. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guidance. Thank you, spiritual team. So I had my stuff with me because I had to work that week while I was there. So let's talk about this in just a normal capacity, removing it from the Crumbs. A friend left me a gift, but she did it after a 24-hour cycle of not speaking to me in silent treatment and abuse. And she wanted to prove a point. I am in fucking control here. And so if I want to give you something, I'll give you something. And if I want to speak to you, I'll speak to you. And I'll do it when I'm ready, and I will punish you. Now, I have another video talking about how she described to me one time the silent treatment that she did to Tinsley, the person that she ended up with, the best friend that she has now. And even though I knew Tinsley was an enemy of mine and didn't care for me and was racist, I told her, maybe rein it in, maybe it's too much. What I don't think she realizes that I was taking notes, because I was like, oh, this is exactly what you've done to me. So you do know what you're doing? Yes, guys, your narcissist knows what you're doing. This was essentially the flower she gave me after treating me like crap. If you've ever been physically abused, this was the dinner, this was the makeup sex, this was it. Paltry, right? Compared to how she behaved. But this was her way of saying, like, I'll be nice to you today. I wonder where she learned that behavior. I wonder if it was from Cold as Ice Barb or her actual mother. I don't know where she learned that behavior, but she did learn that after treating you like shit and not talking to you for no reason other than my own ego, her own ego is what I'm saying, that you deserve a little something for all the bullshit she put you through. Guys, the reason that I'm speaking about it so candidly, because this is raw and emotional, and this is on the internet, and it can be played back to me years from now, is that I was in a relationship that was abusive. This is not something that I said, it's not something that I wanted to know, and it's not something that I wanted to think. But I can't ignore the physical evidence of the Crumbs. I guess I'll be nice to you today. I guess I'll be nice to you today. I guess I'll be nice to you today. Empaths, it's really important for you to remember that when you're in a situation where you're abused like this, that you don't forget to open your heart back up to love. When someone treats you like that and thinks that it's cute, I'm sure she went to work and told her lover and her friend and her lead demon chief, Tinsley, all about how she treated me like crap and how she was so irritated and annoyed that I was there. It broke my heart. After she'd essentially lured me up there, it is exactly what a narcissist does. She love bombed me there. Even my mother, who actually liked her, said to me before I went, why are you going? I have such a bad feeling. And I was like, why? It's her. I said her name. It's her. You guys are friends. You guys exchange teapots. But a mother always knows. And even though I had never told my mother the full dynamic of our relationship, she knew that we were once lovers and no longer were. I'm in my house right now recording this. I am bisexual, for those of you that are watching that are confused, just in case. My husband is here. So I'm very comfortable. Everybody in my life knows who I am, but no one in her life knows who she was, who she was, and they certainly didn't know this side of her. So while she was getting all that narcissistic supply and everybody thought, you're just the best friend ever, and we were in the deep southeast Alabama, girl. I just drank some seltzer before this video. Southeast Alabama, to be exact, where it is predisposed that maybe someone that looks like me would automatically be the villain. So she could go back to work and be like, yeah, after everything I did for her, she did nothing for me. I paid out of pocket for my procedure. I got a hotel because I didn't feel welcomed at her house. And I didn't even know she was going to take me. I had a few friends on standby, and I told her as much. I'm sure she misconstrued it because she heard what she wanted to hear, but I said, I've got friends on standby. I said specifically, I got bitches on standby if this is a problem. If you don't want me at your house and you're going to treat me like this, then I can be someplace else. And I did end up going someplace else because I didn't really feel welcomed, right? Here's the deal. This is what narc crumbs look like. This is what narcissistic abuse looks like. This is what an abusive cycle looks like. The only reason this is still in my house is to teach a lesson, again, when I wouldn't want to curse a blue streak about it. I am past the cursing of a blue streak, and I think it's valuable information. This is what narc crumbs look like. People treating you terribly, giving you the silent treatment, and then deciding that perhaps, yes, they guess that they'll be nice to you. Empaths, I want you to be nice to yourself and get the hell away from the narcissist. Covert, malignant, subversive. It chips away at your self-esteem. It caused me to do a regression back to my father that made me so uncomfortable and so aware. I could no longer unsee her terrible toxic behavior. I guess I'll be nice today. I decided to be nice to myself and walk away forever. That does not a friendship make. That is not a power dynamic that I will exist in. She was being abusive to me because she was being abused by a malignant narc who I warned her against, but she didn't want to hear it. So she had to feel almighty and powerful with me. I wonder who she feels powerful with now. I imagine that maybe someone is guessing. Tinsley, that they'll be nice to her or make her life a living hell. What goes around comes around, but you don't have to stick around to watch it come around. It's none of my business. My business was myself and my survival. Sorry to take such a turn here. To anybody else that's ever been in this abuse, they might think it dramatic, but if you've ever had a narcissistic parent, friend, lover, child, boss, you know that you cannot survive on the crumbs of a narcissist. The crumbs of a narcissist are designed to starve you. She just as soon slap me upside the face with this, broadside me with this, as she would say a kind word. I decided to be nice to myself on that day and from that day forward. If you're getting paltry gifts after abuse, get out. Not only do you deserve better, but you can have better. You don't deserve this. Come back next time and we'll continue to evolve together.